These are the words for vocab number 3. These are all on haiku. We just didn't get a chance to go over them in class. So the first word is elude. It's a verb, an action word. For instance, the suspect was able to elude the police. He was able to avoid them. That's what it means, avoid or evade. So if someone eluded you, that means they hid from you. A related word is elusive. That's an adjective, and it means someone who tends to elude. So something that's hard to find, catch, or obtain. So many people say that the American dream is elusive, meaning it escapes you or it's hard to get. But really our main focus is elude, to escape or to avoid. Next word, blight. A blight is a plague or a disease. For instance, in the Irish potato famine, if you've studied about that in history yet, a lot of Irish people came to this country because there was a blight on their potato crop. So a lot of the potatoes were diseased there, and they couldn't eat them, so they were starving because that was the main food, so they had to come to America. You could also use this metaphorically to say, you are the blight of this classroom, meaning you're the curse of this class. Or if someone was really bad on your soccer team, you might say, you're the blight of this team. So not very nice, but that would be saying that they're like the plague or the disease or something that's bad on it. Next word, advocate. Advocate. Advocate is a verb, and it means to speak up or speak in favor of someone. So for instance, when your teachers, when you apply to college and they write you a letter of recommendation, they're advocating for you. So you can remember, like if someone placed an ad for Kate, they would basically be supporting Kate or speaking in favor of her. So that's basically what we're doing. So also someone can be an advocate. So that's the noun form, just someone who speaks up for other people. Next word, charisma. Charisma means charm. So we talked about Ma Ramotswe having charisma. That's how she gets a lot of people to go along or give her information. So you also might be charismatic, which means you have charisma. That's just the adjective form. So charisma just means charm or personal appeal. Next word, mesmerize. Mesmerize just means to hypnotize. So you might be mesmerized by the rain falling outside your window, or you might be mesmerized by the sounds of the ocean waves. It would kind of lull you or hypnotize you. It was named after the guy who invented hypnotism, I believe. Mesmer, something like that. So mesmerize is to hypnotize. Bibliophile is a fun word that every English teacher likes, and it means a lover of books. Anytime you see file, that means love. So whatever comes in front of it is what the person loves. So if you're an Anglophile, that means that you love anything British. So if you're like obsessed with the royal family, then you're an Anglophile. But a bibliophile is someone who loves books, like the Bible, but not necessarily the Bible, any book. Hovel is a shack or a shanty. So it's basically a horrible little house that you wouldn't want to live in. So it's kind of like a sad little house that somebody lives in. Cadaverous. Cadaverous means deadly. It comes from the word like cadaver. Like if you watch Grey's Anatomy, a lot of doctors practice on cadavers when they're learning about the body. So if someone's cadaverous, that means that they're corpse-like or pale or thin. So like for instance, after being trapped in a cave for weeks, they rescued the cadaverous girl, meaning she looked like she was a cadaver because she was so pale and so thin, even though she was alive. Penury means poverty. So it's just another word for poverty. So, if you've ever traveled to a developing nation, you might have been shocked at the penury you saw, meaning the poverty you saw. Egress means a way of exiting or just an exit. So when there's a fire drill, we all have to know our means of egress. So we all have to know the route of egress for our room to know where to exit from. So egress is just an exit. And that's the words for vocab number 3.